Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys like the new setup, everything that I got going on.
Breathing my last breath, feeling like I'm walking my last steps. And look at all of these tears I've wept. Look at all the promises that I've kept.
There has been quite the journey, I will say. I'm doing a lot better today, as you guys can see. I just wanted to go over his, just do like a 1 month update on Kenzo and like recovery post C-section and everything else that has happened in the month of February, because it has been crazy, you guys. I cannot believe that I am still here. Like, I cannot. Kenzo is 1 month old. I did like a weigh him type of thing this morning. I tried, like I held him, I got on scale and all that. So according to my scale, he is 6.5 pounds, and that is crazy. He gained a whole 2.5 pounds since he was born. So yay to that. I am still breastfeeding, and we are still also like supplementing. You guys, I am back and forth on if I want to stop or not. I will get into that here in a minute as well. Yeah, I will show you guys Kenzo at the end of this video, and we are going to do a little photo shoot for him today. Like a little 1 month photo shoot. I'm excited. I can't believe it's been a month already. Like, it's been a month. It doesn't even feel like it. My C-section, after I got home, I was having a lot of back pain, and like I was feeling shortness of breath, but I just assumed that it was because of the C-section. So I called my doctor, and she told me come in because it could be a UTI. They did the urine test or whatever, and they started me on antibiotics, and she was saying like the test, I guess they don't have a lab in the office, so she said it'd be a couple days, and that was on a Thursday. So going into the weekend, that was on a Wednesday. Going into the weekend, I was like, okay, well, the antibiotics aren't helping, and I was in more pain. Like, my back it was the worst back pain I've ever had in my whole entire life, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. So I called my OB again, and that conversation was, y'all, it wasn't even my OB, it was the on-call that day, and she pretty much was like, well, there's nothing else I can do for you, so just go to the hospital. And I was in tears. Like, I was literally in tears, and I was like, if it's just an infection, I do not want to go to the hospital because I'm going to be there forever, and I breastfeed. Like, it's not going to be easy. So Aaron was like, look, you need to go. You're in tears because of back pain. That's obviously not normal. And the OB hung up on me at the end. Like, I was trying to catch my breath. I was crying so hard, and she just like hung up. Yeah, guys. I feel like she thought like I just wanted like pain medicine or whatever, like the opiates, whatever that they send you home with. But that I didn't even request any medication from her. I was just like, my back hurts and I don't know what's going on. So I ended up going to the nearest hospital. They came back, they did all the labs and stuff. I was there for like 7 hours without Kenzo, without a pump, without anything. Like, it sucked. And my back was hurting. I was literally in pain. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't move. I was just laying in that bed waiting for them to give me some kind of answers. And they came back with the labs, and they were like, well, your labs are off, so we're just going to send in a blood culture, and we're going to up your antibiotics because we don't know what's going on. They gave me a dose of Toradol, which kind of helped with my back pain, and sent me on my way. And I was on the antibiotics that whole weekend, and it wasn't doing anything at all. Like, it wasn't doing anything. So Monday came around, And then Tuesday came around, which was the 22nd of February. And I was like, bro, like, my leg looked a little off. I was actually starting to have trouble walking, and my leg was swollen. It was like, it wasn't like big swollen. It was just kind of noticeable, like when I was up, you know, trying to walk around the house and do whatever. But I couldn't even really do much. So I sent a picture to Aaron, and I was like, does my foot look swollen to you? And he said, yes, it does. So I was like, okay, well, like, what's going on here? Like, I don't know why my leg would be swollen on the same side that my back hurts on, so I'm confused. So he was like, babe, you really need to go to the hospital. It could be something serious, you don't know. And I was like, man, I'm just tired of going to the hospital. I don't want to go back. He was just like, no, you're going to the hospital. And so he took me to the good hospital, the hospital that I delivered at. He took me there. And they did an ultrasound, and come to find out, I had a blood clot in my leg and my back. And yeah, they said the blood clot was really big, and it was like pretty much the length of my leg, and it was in my femoral vein all the way up to my iliac vein, which is like kind of like where your hip bone back type of area is. That's where the pain was coming from. And it went all the way down my leg. So yeah, I was like, what the heck? And I was like super scared. I was in the hospital all by myself, and I was like, what is happening? I literally cried because I was scared, like, you know, like blood clots, if they travel to your heart, you have a heart attack. If they travel to your brain, you have a stroke. Like, if they travel to your lungs, like, you're not breathing anymore. So I was scared. Well, they ended up doing a CT scan on my lungs, and they said, like, okay, so they said if it traveled to my lungs, then they're gonna have to treat it, like, they're gonna have to, like, really treat it, like, really hard. If not, then they can, you know, do a light treatment and probably a surgery. So I got the CT scan results back, and it traveled to my lungs. So not only did I have a blood clot in my leg and my back, I had a PE. I had a bunch of PEs. They said they were pretty small though, and they were at the bottom lobes of my lungs. And they said it was quite a few of them. And it was like to the point where like they couldn't like go in and get it because it was like a lot of them. So they immediately started me on a drip, and it was I don't know what it was, but it was a blood thinner. So they started me on that immediately, and I was on that the whole time I was in the hospital, and I had to pump and dump, like, all my breast milk that I pumped at the hospital. I had to dump because of the medication that they had me on. So that whole entire night, they didn't want to do the surgery until like I was on the blood thinners for a certain amount of time. So I was on the blood thinners that whole night, and they didn't have a room available at the time. So I was like in the ER still. They switched out a bed. I had a comfortable bed and everything, but like I did not have access to my call light. So I asked the nurse if there was anything she could give me to help with my pain, because I was in a lot of pain, and the morphine they gave me was like, it wore off. Yes, they gave me morphine, y'all, and it helped with my pain a little bit, but like it didn't last that long. So they finally transferred me to the room that I was going to be at, and the doctor came in and he explained the surgery to me. Y'all, I cannot believe it. Like, they had to take me to the cath lab, and pretty much, like, you're not asleep during the procedure. I was awake. They just gave me a little bit of Versed and fentanyl, and those medications just kind of make you, like, in and out of it a little bit, and they, like, help with the pain, but not really. Honestly, it didn't do anything for my leg. I had to lay on my stomach for the procedure, and that was already painful as it is, because my leg was so swollen by this time. It was like, it hurt so bad. just laying on my stomach, like my hip, you know, like my groin area, just like even having to stretch that part out to lay on my stomach. And then on top of that, I had just had a C-section. You guys, it was the worst. I'm just laying there like, Lord, help me get through this, because they told me that I was going to be awake, but they said, like, you're going to be kind of dozed off and you're not, you know, like they tell you, like, you're going to, I don't know. How they explained it, it didn't seem as scary as it actually was. So I'm laying there on my stomach, and the doctor puts a lidocaine shot in the back of my knee, and that hurt too. And I was just like kind of screaming a little bit, but like trying not to move, because obviously it's a needle in my leg. And just to numb the area, because they have to stick a catheter in your leg. So he numbed it, and then they waited a little bit, and then it actually worked. Like, it was numb, like just that area was numb. I was like, okay, I can do this. You know, they got ready, surgery started, and the doctor started the catheter. He put the catheter in the back of my knee into my femoral vein, and he went all the way up. And it's like a thing like you grab the clot with and you pull it out. But he couldn't take the whole thing out at once, so it was just like pieces by pieces. And he was doing that, and that hurt so bad. I cannot explain how bad it hurt with him pulling that out. Like, I don't know, it just felt like somebody was ripping my back out of my back and my leg out of my leg. Like, it hurt so bad. Like, especially, like, but it was weird, like, exactly where the pain was. You know how sometimes you have pain and you're like, it hurts somewhere, like, in this area? No, that, when he was pulling it out, it hurt exactly where I was feeling the pain. Like, I was like, wow, that's crazy. But yeah, he was pulling that out, and he had to go in like 10 times to get the clot out. I wish I had my phone with me, because I wanted to take a picture of like what he pulled out, but I left my phone in my room. But they showed me the clot that they pulled out, and it was a lot. Like, it was big, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. It's just so crazy to me. But he wasn't able to get all of it out, but he did get most of it out. And he said, like, the blood thinners should help, like, dissolve the rest of it. Yeah, guys, I cannot. I literally think, and I'm just like, I cannot believe I did that. Like, where did that strength come from? Because, honestly, y'all, God gave me the strength to go through that, because I really one of my biggest fears is being awake during surgery, and having to do a C-section and you're awake. That was already me facing like one of my biggest fears, but having to do it another surgery and you're like wide awake, y'all don't even know the half of it. It was crazy. The surgery was successful. I was walking with a walker for the longest, for like a week. I had a walker, and that was embarrassing. I upgraded to a cane. That was embarrassing. And now I'm actually walking like pretty good. I'm like walking without it now. I still have pain and stuff, but it's not that, like, it's not as much as it was. Oh, also, before I knew that it was a clot, like, I was weighing myself just to see like how much weight I was losing each day from after giving birth. And I was dropping pounds, but then like when the clot was like there, I started gaining the weight back, and I was like, dang, I haven't, nothing's changed. Like, why am I gaining this weight back? And I gained like pretty much all the baby weight back. What I thought was the baby weight, but it was actually the clot. So I was like, wow, the clot and the swelling and everything else. I was like, bro, that's crazy. Because after I got home from the hospital, I was like back down. It was crazy, y'all. I keep saying it was crazy, but like it really was crazy. Like they said they are not sure if I have a blood clotting disorder or if I have, like something else going on. So they did a lot of blood work, and I do see the vascular team in a couple weeks for an update, and they're gonna do like an ultrasound on my leg and all that, just to make sure like if everything's gone or whatever. They said like obviously if you have a surgery, like if you have a C-section, whatever, it increased your risk of getting blood clots. Like any surgery in general, you know, that's like a risk that you can have. Yeah, I'm literally in shock. So my first month home with Kenzo, it was really hard for me to even just care for him because I was in so much pain, and then I was in the hospital again for like the whole blood clot. I think I was in there for like 4 days, and then I got home. My milk supply dropped so much, but now it's back up. But I'm at a crossroad, y'all. I'm at like a crossroad. So if I choose to continue breastfeeding, I have to do a shot in my stomach twice a day, because that's the only one that's safe for breastfeeding. And if I decide to stop breastfeeding, they can switch me to a pill once a day for the next 3 months. That's pretty much why I'm just really trying to figure out if I want to stop breastfeeding, because it's really hard. Like my stomach is literally getting bruised up from having to do the shot in the morning and at night, and I'm just thinking like, dang, 3 months of that's a lot. In the beginning, Aaron was the one doing the shots for me, and then I got bold enough to do them myself. So I've been doing them myself lately, but you know, it is a struggle poking yourself in the stomach. But other than that, this week I've been just resting. I'm not supposed to be driving. I'm not allowed to do anything. So that's been hard. But me and Kenzo, we've been bonding, and he is a month old and he's growing, and I'm learning him. When I was in the hospital, Aaron had him, and Aaron was like learning him and literally doing everything for him. So when I got home, Aaron was like, okay, this is how he likes to be swaddled. He sleeps from this time to this time, and you know, he was like really hands-on, and I was like, wow, like okay, I see you. Oh, also, update on the postpartum preeclampsia. The blood pressure medicine has been doing wonders for my blood pressure, and then I stopped taking the blood pressure medicine to see if my blood pressure was good, and I didn't, you know, if I was good to go, and my blood pressure stayed down. So I'm pretty sure I'm done with the postpartum preeclampsia. My doctor does want me to stay on the medicine, but I really don't think I need it. Like my blood pressure was 120/70, which is like perfect, and that was without medicine for like a week. So that is pretty much his 1 month update. My 1 month update. His 1 month update is good. He's gaining weight and he's doing great. My 1 month update. I'm getting there, and I'm taking this recovery in, and I'm soaking it up because I go back to work next month. So, you know, that is all I have for this video. So I will see y'all in my next video, and bye.
Yeah, you've given me purpose.